Basically, when we want to communicate, instead of the regular words, we often look for phrases or, for that matter, figurative language, which will enhance our communication. So, I would advise that you should arm yourself or equip yourself with certain figurative tools, which I will delve into today. And it'll help you sound like someone who is, very well versed in communication, and it has wide application. That's the interesting part. So let's not wait any further and let's get into it. Hyperbolic statements make for interesting listening. Basically, if I tell you about the figure of speech hyperbole, it'll help you understand how your sentence sounds effective. You can convey the message, in a more dramatic manner sometimes, and even for that matter, the listener feels or the intensity of the situation when they listen to your sentences in hyperbole, because hyperbole is actually exaggeration, but I feel that they help you communicate better because the intensity can be felt. I'll give you some examples which will help you relate to hyperbole or exaggerated statements. First up is, suppose your son is, planning to go for an outing, and he has all his friends, waiting for him in the morning when they are all going to step out, possibly for the day out, or, they're going for a picnic or a sleepover. So, what is the underlying sentiment of these kids? It seems like they will explode with excitement. So, literally, that's not going to happen, but doesn't it sound more interesting when I say that they seem so thrilled about this day? They literally seem like they will explode with excitement. In a world full of opinions and judgments, I've often seen that you can neither be too thin nor too fat. Well, let's talk about some, figurative expressions for hyperbole related to someone being too thin. So, I just saw someone remarking about a particular social media influencer. I don't like her. I feel she is, as skinny as a toothpick. Okay. So this is a hyperbole because no one can be as slim or as skinny as a toothpick. But it's again a very interesting usage to indicate that she's too thin, borderline malnourished. Having a conversation with her is exhausting. I feel she talks a mile a minute. She talks a mile a minute basically means she talks a lot within a short span of time. And such people can actually drain you out because you don't really take away some good productive inputs from that conversation. Or for that matter, it's not even a fun exchange. You are literally waiting for them to, wrap up and, leave the scene. So, talking a mile a minute, if you take my advice, not a good habit. Next, let's explore the role of personification as it brings any scene to life, I feel. It is a tool or it's a figurative device which helps me give human like characteristics to inanimate objects. So it actually infuses life into something which has no life in the first place. Let's take some examples and see how you can actually bring a scene to life through personification. Imagine a scene where you are driving through a pitch dark road, at the dead of the night, and you don't really have any source of light other than possibly the headlights of your car, and the tail lights of your car. It is indeed a scary situation to be in. And in this situation, if things around you is something you want to describe, what would be the choice of words? For example, if you want to say that, the trees, you can hear some sound coming from the trees. Okay. So you can say that the trees whispered into the night. Okay. That's an interesting phrase to say when you actually can build up an eerie scene. Or for that matter, the skeletal arms of the trees almost felt like they were reaching out for me. Okay. Skeletal arms reaching out. Again, you're giving life to the tree, which indicates that you're driving through a lane where there are whispering trees and skeleton looking trees. Okay, let's take another example to make the night even more creepy. As the trees whispered secrets into the night sky, the basically the wind howled and the rain stomped angrily on the windshield of my car. There you go. You heard multiple inanimate things like the car, essentially the rain stomped angrily on the windshield. Stomped is the word we gave for rain, okay, which means forcefully putting your leg down in a way, okay, or for that matter, the trees whispering or the wind howling. All these are giving life to inanimate objects. We can paint happy pictures too through personification. Let's take some examples. For instance, the sun smiled down at me. Not really in the current scenario because the weather is scorching, the heat is scorching actually. But otherwise, if you have a very pleasant sunny day, okay, then you can say the sun smiled down at me or is smiling down at me. You can even use it for a night scenario when you can say the stars winked at me, okay, as they shone brightly alongside the moon. Okay, so the stars winked at me. The snowfall painted delicate pictures on the white ground. So there you go. You can positively use personification too, okay, when you are trying to convey happy thoughts or happy messages. I read through the first few pages of the book, and I must say, the book heightened my curiosity. So there you go. I gave the quality of increasing curiosity, which normally could be through a conversation with another person, also attributable to something as lifeless as a book. Because as we all know, books can bring anything to life and they can definitely heighten your curiosity if it's a well, worded book. So if it starts well, then definitely it heightens your curiosity. Irony. I feel this figure of speech applies to our day to day life. We are surrounded by things and incidences and episodes which are filled with irony. Let's take a couple of examples. While we are in our formative years, we are often told don't talk to strangers. And in India, one of the most common practices is probably an arranged marriage, which is like the biggest gamble and the biggest irony. Don't talk to strangers, yet you end up marrying a stranger in an arranged marriage situation. So, there you go, one of the biggest ironies. Let's take some more examples. Social media, the biggest irony of our life. It separates people within a room, but when it, is about connecting people across the globe, probably you're better connected today because of the social media interactions. So, social media brings people closer and also pushes them apart. Again, another irony. What greater irony could be than a surgery? A surgery is where you have to go through a lot of pain. Okay, you are possibly the incision done by the surgeon, followed by the recovery period, and all of it is done to heal. So basically, you are undergoing a lot of pain as a part of a treatment or healing. So, one of the greatest ironies of life. You can also say the kind, cruel knife of a surgeon. The kind, cruel knife of a surgeon means he is using it for making the incision, yet with the objective to heal. Romeo and Juliet, probably one of the greatest examples of dramatic irony, with the twist in the tale, where, we all know that Juliet, passed away, she died, but Romeo did not know. So it was a dramatic irony. One of the biggest ironies of life is when you're in your most stretched situation, possibly under intense pressure, feeling crushed, that might bring out the best version of you. So, as they say, diamonds are formed under immense heat and pressure. Similarly, the best version of you, the best form of you, the world will get to see when you are pushed in or you're put in a situation that tests you. So that is one of the biggest ironies of life. One of the ironies that I would like to end this lesson with is that I'm sad to leave and sad to complete the lesson, yet all good things, as they say, come to an end. So, this lesson is also one such example. At English Excellence with Chhaya, we only offer the best to you. So go ahead, sign up for our courses today and experience all these lessons live in your class so that you can start applying immediately in your real life scenarios. Happy learning at English Excellence with Chhaya.